Snars Morgan here. Coming again another Sunday morning. Talk to y'all guys about weight loss and your fitness goals. Alright, one thing I forgot to mention last week is I'm on this 100-day challenge too. And my goal is to be between 195 and 200 pounds by December 31st. Now I fluctuate between 224 and 226 now. And this last quarter, that's my goal, to be about 200 pounds. I started last January, and this was all intentional, by the way. I started last January at 242, and my goal was to lose, I wanted to be 200 pounds in a year, and I'm pretty much on point. So this last quarter, I'm going to finish strong. One reason why I want to lose that weight is because I got some goals in 2017. I won't share it with you guys just yet, but we'll see when the time comes in January. But for one reason, as I get older, I'll be 49 in May. I don't want to walk around 240, 230 anymore. It's really not healthy, regardless of how much muscle you carry. I want to be a little bit lighter, and once I get to that goal of, like I say, 195-ish, 200, I don't plan on ever going over 200 pounds again. And that's just a personal goal. That's just, as far as health issues, not about look, because health is number one before anything. But it's one question I always ask y'all guys, just throw any question y'all have, just throw it at me, and then we'll figure this thing out. I give you my honest opinion. And I was asked the question, what is the number one, I think, reason, or they thought reason, that a person, like an athlete, what is their core values? What makes them who they are? What makes them separate themselves from the average? Not necessarily even an athlete. I'm talking about, like NFL pros, or not even at that level. I mean, even at an amateur level, what separates them from the average? And I say from training with athletes and training, and over the years, I've been training for like 20 years or so, I was blessed to be around so many different people, from millionaires to clients that worked at McDonald's. And one thing that was continuous, one common denominator between all of them, was identity. What helped them reach their goals, but not just reach their goals, but maintain it. And maintaining is the most important thing. And I would say, without a shadow of a doubt, it's identity. It's standards. If you take an athlete, like I say, I've trained probably maybe 2 or 3 millionaires in my life. If it was any more, I didn't know they were millionaires. And one thing about them, they had certain standards. You can probably take every penny from them, and they'll be rich again within probably 5 years. Some study I read that 80% of any lottery winner, if they were poor and they won the lottery, they'd be broke within 2 years. Because that was identity. They identify with being poor, not being rich. It's just 2 totally different mindsets, 2 totally different thoughts. The difference between an athlete or a person that competes in any higher level is identity. They can't see themselves being anything but what they are. The Bible says you judge a tree by its fruit. Well, an apple tree can be nothing but an apple tree. It can't be a lemon tree. It can only bear apples. That's its identity. And same thing with a person. Your train of thought, or how you believe, how you see yourself, is what you're going to be. And how I know what a person believes, not really what they say, is what they do. That's how I know what they really truly believe in heart. And that goes in the church, outside the church, or anything. And I was talking to my brother this morning on the phone, and he's like in his 50s, and he's like, he still thinks so youthful and like a kid, think he like Superman, and there's nothing he can't do, and he's an inspiration. He don't think old, and he doesn't identify himself as an old person. He's 50s, he's 56, might be 57. a check. And he don't see himself as that age. He don't think of it as that age. He don't even talk about it. He has a youthful type of thinking, and that's his identity. You know, I just like to talk to people and pick their brain and see what makes them tick. That way I can apply it to my life and then, you know, share it with others. So that's the number one thing I believe. That's the foundation of what you build off of, is identity. When I'm training with clients, I always say, okay, what is your goal? What is your outcome? Okay, not necessarily you figure out what your outcome is going to be, and your brain to figure out what steps to take to get there. Okay, what are your goals? How do you see yourself? And then I say, well, you pick a certain singer, you pick a certain athlete, and look at their body, and okay, you say, that's what I want, that's what I want to go for. So you might cut out, you know, a picture or something out of a magazine, depending on the refrigerator. It could have been one of your old pictures when you were playing sports, so you were at it one time, put it on the refrigerator, and you say, that's what I am. You don't say that's what I'm going to be, because your subconscious don't know the difference between being there or not. You say, that's what I am, and then you do what it takes to get to that point. So in other words, you train and you eat like that, and then becoming that is only going to be a byproduct. You don't have to try. It's going to happen, you know. So that's what it is. It's an identity thing, and that's pretty much what it is. That's your identity, your standards. You get up in the morning, you're like, okay, this is who I am. An athlete or an Olympic athlete, they get up and they train every morning. Hey, that's just what they do. I mean, they probably do that for the rest of their life until the day they die, because that's the way they see themselves. They can't see themselves not doing that, you know. And then the byproduct is the type of physique that they have by their standards, by their habits, by their rituals, by getting up in the morning, eating oatmeal or drinking a protein shake, and then going out and then training before they start their day, and meditation, which is very important. I talked about that in the last video. I mean, that's all rituals, and if you have your rituals down packed, and your rituals gonna be based off your identity, this is who I am, this is what I do every single morning, that's gonna be a good start. So to make sense of it all, that's what's about identity, how you see yourself. And I'll give you one example. I know quite a few people that they have immaculate physiques, but they can't see themselves as, they see something totally different. What they see and what they perceive in their mind is two different things. They don't see themselves as you know, all this, you know, super nice looking beach body or whatever. They see themselves as just a person, because their standards are so high. You know, their standards is like up here, where their body is here, but their body is better than the average person. You know, and that's what it is. It's about standards. It's about identity. So y'all guys keep the questions coming, and if this is helping you any type of way, let me know. You know, share it with others if you think somebody else might benefit from it. And I'm giving y'all guys the kind of like, not necessarily workouts and just diet or whatever, but the philosophy of fitness goals, the philosophy of how people think that are athletes or that are bodybuilders or that people that achieve these goals. It's a thought behind it. It's a philosophy behind it. It's not just what you do, but it's what you believe and how you think at your core that makes you get to that certain level that you want to achieve. Anyway, like I said, guys, please keep the questions coming, and if this is helping you, let me know. Share, you know, subscribe, and I'll see y'all guys at the gym.